hi everyone, it's Mark here from Natural Balance. I'm back at work, but not back at work. Decided to drop into the clinic for the first time in a month, just to check everything's okay here and pick up mail. It feels great to be back here, I have to say. It does feel great. There is obviously two important things missing. That's you, our customers, and my fellow massage therapists and osteopaths. So it's very quiet here. A little bit cold as well, because I obviously have turned the heating off whilst we've got no clients to treat. So how's everyone been? It's been great hearing from some of you, and it's been good to be able to offer some help and guidance, albeit remotely. So just a reminder that if you do have any particular aches and pains, difficulty sleeping, concerns around your diet, like me, we have a great deal of knowledge here at Natural Balance. As I say, we've got a team of amazing osteopaths with, some of them with over 20 years experience. We've got obviously a great team of massage therapists, equally experienced. A lot of them have got other things, other skills as well. As some of you are aware, we've got acupuncture, yoga, nutritional therapy. So there's a lot of other sort of help and guidance we can give you if you need it. So it's been great coming back in today. It was actually a little bit daunting, and I think it's kind of interesting because it's quite easy when you've been stuck in lockdown to forget that there are actually a lot of people that have actually been going on about their lives almost as normal. Key workers, for instance, people that work in hospitals, care homes, children's care, supermarkets, the guys that are collecting the bins. There are loads of people whose experience over the last 6 or 7 weeks has been completely different to mine, which has been basically, living in this very relatively small world, very small, safe world. Other than going out for a run every couple of days and a weekly shop, I've really not been out of the house at all. And it does feel good, as I say, to start taking those steps towards normality. It's interesting, that word normality, isn't it? Because you're hearing a lot of people talk about the new normal. And I just want to be, I hope not controversial, but I just want to be a little bit cautionary about when we talk about the new normal. One of the things that my partner was saying, and I do agree with this, is that whilst there clearly are things that we need to do in the short term to minimise the risk, and yes, we absolutely should be following all government guidance, it's interesting because the new normal has a slight permanency around it. Normal is the norm, it's permanent. And what I want to make sure people realise is that we do need to make sure that we don't become completely fearful of outdoors, fearful of other people, fearful of being touched, fearful of massage, fearful of osteopathy, fearful of having a laugh with our mates, fearful of hugging and dancing, and those things are normal. So we do need to be cautious, let's be cautious. There are certain things that we need to do in the short term. I've got my mask on me because I'm going to the supermarket later, so completely accept that. I'm being very, very careful in terms of, hand washing. I take antibacterial, antiviral wipes with me everywhere I go. I totally minimise the amount of people I come into contact with and always observe social distancing. Those things, yes, I get that we are going to be living with those for a period of time, but let's also not forget that they aren't normal, and that whilst there is a scenario, a horrible scenario where the time scales for having to take these measures maybe aren't even months, they slip into years. Let's not lose track of, you know, who we really are, and hopefully we will get back there. I think what I'm trying to say is, you know, there's a scary scenario where as the risk of the virus starts to dissipate, so for instance, maybe there's a vaccine, or maybe there's a good treatment, or maybe it's just that most of us have already had it and most of us don't even know we've had it. But supposing there is a point at which the risk of the virus dissipates, it would be a tragedy if we had by then become conditioned into being these sort of fearful, solitary creatures. You know, it's interesting when you look at the animal kingdom. You know, there are some animals that are very sociable, like us. We live in groups, we're tactile, we like generally being touched, we like touching others, we like the warmth of people. And then there are other animals that are very, very solitary. But that's not us, and I kind of would hate it if, you know, we became conditioned to being these people that, you know, didn't like being out in public, didn't like seeing other people, didn't like being touched. So yeah, just a little cautionary there. You know, the idea of saying, you know, new and normal, they're almost sort of contradictory in a way, aren't they? Normal is where we were before. These are temporary measures to get us, to keep us safe, and hopefully get us to a point where we can return to normal. And I kind of hope it's the old normal, to be honest. I don't want new normal. Yeah, rubbish, absolute rubbish. Anyway, yes, so do get in touch if there's anything we can do to support you. I think I went off on a bit of a tangent there, didn't I? What else? Yeah, so we have a date now. We think and hope we're going to be reopening on the 4th of July. The message from Natural Balance is slightly confusing because we have a team of osteopaths and we have a team of massage therapists, and they actually both currently have different possible dates for returning. I must stress that these dates were given as the earliest and they are subject to change. So the osteopaths possibly could be back at work in June, but I don't know. So that's just a possibility, but that would be the earliest. The massage therapists could possibly be back at work in July. Part of the difference is that the osteopaths are classed as allied health professionals. They are strictly regulated. And massage therapy, even though we predominantly do clinical work and work with sports injuries and do, as I say, amazing work to look after people's health and well-being, we're not actually classed as allied health professionals. And that's partly because we're self-regulating. We don't actually have a single regulatory body. So in that slightly confusing announcement on Sunday, we were actually classed under body care, which is alongside hairdressing and beauty. So it does look like the earliest we will be back at work is the 4th of July, but I will obviously keep everyone up to date. Because those dates were very uncertain, for now I have turned off the online booking system, but please believe me, we are desperate to get back to work. The whole team really wants to see you. So as soon as I can turn the online booking system back on and know with some degree of certainty that yes, that those appointments are secure, I will. I just don't want to turn it on, get loads of you getting excited, us getting excited, booking all these appointments in and then having to go through what, to be honest, is quite a miserable experience, and that is cancelling all these appointments that were booked that we're no longer allowed to offer. Also on a slightly different note, if you're not aware, gift voucher expiry dates, please do not worry about them. Obviously, if we need to extend gift vouchers, we will. We fully accept that you're not able to use them if we're not open. So, as I say, as soon as we have a date for reopening, we can look at things like gift voucher expiry dates. In the meantime, if you do want me to extend a gift voucher, just get in touch. Send us an email with the gift voucher number. I can go onto our system and change the email, the date. That's probably it from me for today. You're going to be hearing a bit more from me, more advice on self-care will be coming. I'm going to try and get more involvement, obviously, from the rest of the team. But stay safe, keep in touch, as they do let us know if there's anything we can do to help with any muscular or soft tissue issues, aches or pains, trouble sleeping, issues of diet, those sorts of things. And we will do our best to try and help you remotely. Take care.